This message is not just a warning, it's a divine cry. It's not filled with fear, but with urgency. Not meant to scare you, but to save you. If you've been feeling a heaviness in your spirit, a tension you can't explain, a conviction that something is shifting, this message is confirmation. Because God is speaking directly to you, the chosen one. You've been called, anointed and set apart. You carry purpose on your life. You are a light in a dark generation. But with that calling comes a weight of responsibility. Because what do you carry? It's powerful. And if misused, neglected, or compromised, it can cost everything. God is crying out, not to shame you, but to protect you. There's something He needs you to avoid. Something that seems small now, but could sabotage your entire destiny. And if you're feeling that divine tug in your soul, it's not paranoia. It's prevention. Here are 7 things God is begging His chosen ones not to do. Because ignoring them could cost you everything: your peace, your purpose, your power, and your promised future. Don't settle for what's comfortable. Over what's called one of the enemy's sneakiest tricks is not to tempt you with sin, but to tempt you with comfort. And right now, many chosen ones are standing at a dangerous crossroad: stay in what's familiar, or step into what's faithful. Comfort will always look like the safe route. It feels stable, predictable, and easy. But it also keeps you stagnant. God didn't anoint you to be average. He didn't call you to live a quiet life in the shadows of convenience. He called you to build, to lead, to create, to shift. Settling may not feel sinful, but it's disobedient. God has been showing you the next step. He's given you glimpses of what you're supposed to build. But if you let fear, laziness, or distraction win, you'll spend your life in circles, safe but unfulfilled. He's crying out, don't choose ease over elevation. Don't choose predictable over purposeful. What's familiar now will frustrate you later. Move when God says move, even if your knees are trembling. Because on the other side of obedience is everything He promised. Don't compromise for relationships that keep you spiritually small. Relationships can be divine blessings or demonic distractions. And chosen ones often find themselves entangled in relationships that feel good emotionally, but are poison spiritually. You know the type. The friend who always pulls you back into gossip. The partner who doesn't support your calling. The environments that numb your spirit. You tell yourself, it's not that bad, but deep down, your soul feels drained after every encounter. God is crying out, please don't compromise. He sees how these relationships are dimming your light. You think you're helping them, but they're pulling you out of alignment. And when you're out of alignment, you miss divine appointments. You forfeit blessings. You delay your purpose. This doesn't mean you cut people off in anger. It means you rise and let them decide if they'll rise with you. It means you stop sacrificing your peace for company. The chosen version of you can't thrive in every room. You have to protect your space like it's sacred. Because it is. Don't ignore the still small voice in favor of loud distractions. The world is loud. Social media opinions, headlines, notifications. Everything is designed to keep your spirit noisy. But God doesn't scream. He whispers. And if you're too distracted, you'll miss Him. Right now, God is trying to speak to you. Not just through sermons, but in your spirit. Through restlessness, through red flags, through sudden unease. But instead of sitting with that discomfort, you keep scrolling, watching, distracting, numbing. God is crying out, be still. Turn down the volume of the world so you can hear heaven. The chosen ones can't afford to be spiritually deaf. The decisions you're about to make, they need divine direction. But if you drown out the whisper, you'll move in flesh instead of faith. There are doors He's trying to open, but you're too distracted to walk through them. There are traps He's trying to help you avoid, but you're too busy entertaining what He's been trying to remove. This is not the season for noise. It's the season for discernment. Don't delay obedience while waiting for perfect conditions. One of the enemy's most effective lies is, wait until you're more ready. And tragically, many chosen ones fall for it. You tell yourself you need more money, more clarity, more time. But what you're really doing is waiting for comfort, and God didn't call you to comfort. He called you to obedience. And obedience doesn't wait for things to feel easy. It moves when the Spirit says go. Every time you delay what God already told you to start, you trade momentum for hesitation. You convince yourself it's wisdom, that you're being strategic. But often, it's just fear wearing a mask of logic. And fear is a thief. It steals the very opportunities heaven is placing in front of you. God is saying loud and clear, stop waiting for the stars to align. You are the alignment. You carry the authority. You carry the call. And the provision you're praying for, it's waiting on the other side of your movement. Not in your planning, not in your comfort zone. That book, that business, that ministry, that hard conversation, it's time. Perfect timing isn't a date, it's a yes in your spirit. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. Don't miss what God has prepared because you're scared to leap. Don't let past pain become present bitterness. You've been hurt, deeply, betrayed by those you trusted, rejected by those you loved, overlooked when you deserved to be seen. And no, it wasn't fair. But chosen ones are held to a different standard because they carry a different kind of destiny. You can't take everything with you into the next season. Some things, especially the pain, must be left behind. That wound wants to define you. That betrayal wants to keep echoing in your mind. That offense wants to build walls around your heart. But God is whispering, please, don't carry that with you. Not where you're going. Your purpose is too heavy for baggage that's rooted in the past. You were never meant to carry trauma into triumph. Bitterness is a blessing blocker. Unforgiveness suffocates your anointing. Anger clouds your discernment, and holding on to the past will only weigh down your future. Letting go isn't passive. It's powerful. It's how warriors stay spiritually agile. It's how chosen ones stay aligned. If you want to go higher, you have to travel lighter. The people who wounded you were weapons of delay. Don't let them succeed by keeping their pain alive in your spirit. Your healing is the real victory, and it will unlock doors that no apology ever could. Don't pretend you're okay when you're spiritually drained. This one is personal. Because you're strong. You're always the one who carries others. You show up, smile, serve, but inside you're exhausted. Spiritually, emotionally, even physically. God sees that. He sees the pressure, the silent tears, the long nights, and He's crying out, stop pretending you're okay. Come to me. Rest in me. Don't fake strength when I'm offering you supernatural renewal. Being chosen doesn't mean being perfect. It means knowing when to pour out and when to pull back. You don't have to have it all together. But you do have to be honest with God, because burnout is not holy, and exhaustion is not a badge of honor. You can't pour from an empty vessel, and God can't refill what you refuse to acknowledge as empty. This is your permission to rest, cry, breathe, heal. You're not weak. You're wounded. But you don't have to stay that way. Don't give up right before the breakthrough. This is the loudest cry of all, and it's echoing through the hearts of many of you right now. Because you're not far, you're close. Closer than you've ever been. So close to the release. So close to the breakthrough. So close to the door that changes everything. But you're tired, weary, discouraged. The wait has felt like forever. And now doubt is whispering, maybe I missed it. Maybe I got it wrong. Let me be clear, you didn't miss it. That tension you feel, that heaviness, it's not a sign of failure. It's a sign of transition. These are spiritual labor pains. Pressure before promotion, warfare before the win. Stretching before the shift. Heaven hasn't forgotten you. You're not being ignored. You're being processed. God is crying out, don't quit now. Don't give up on the vision. Don't stop praying, fasting, building, believing. What you sowed in tears will reap a harvest of joy, but only if you keep moving. This is your final push. The enemy is throwing everything at you because he knows how close you are. He knows what's on the other side of this. You don't need a new direction. You need divine perseverance. Keep going. You're almost there. Let's take a breath. Reflect. Let the Spirit speak. Chosen one, this was not a list of rules. It was a rescue. These aren't just don'ts. They're invitations. God is inviting you to protect your destiny, to stay sharp, to stay surrendered, to stay awake. He's not mad at you. He's not disappointed. He's invested. He sees what's on your life. And he's doing everything he can to keep you aligned for what's next. Because what's next? It's everything. It's the open door, the divine appointment, the breakthrough, the legacy. But you can't afford to fumble it now. Not because you're weak, but because you're too close. You're too anointed to play small, too powerful to live distractedly, too needed to live misaligned. This world is crying out for voices like yours, hearts like yours, callings like yours. And God is crying out, too, not in frustration, but in love. A father warning his child before they step off the edge. So listen, slow down, pay attention, obey quickly, heal deeply, guard fiercely, and move boldly. Because of your future, it depends on it. If this message hit your soul, if it felt like God was talking directly to you, it's because he was. Don't let this conviction fade. Let it turn into change. Your next step is critical, and the next video will guide you through it. Watch next. Chosen one. God has given you a rare golden power. Activate it now. You've been warned. You've been reminded. Now you've been equipped. Stay in position, chosen one. Your future is too important to lose.